Yo, what up, fam, friends, family, mom, the world? So I decided to just stay raw. Look at this. Okay, all right. So I'm making this video. Why am I making this video? I'm making this video. The title of the video is "Why is there no Pan-African flag or African Union emoji?" And the quick answer is white supremacy and colonialism. But the longer answer, I'll give you a long, real answer. And the reason I'm making this video is I made another video, I'll link below, where I mentioned the Pan-African Flag Emoji. And it's a short 1 minute, 8 second video because it's on this other channel that I'm messing with. But it doesn't have a lot of views. It has 17 views. Whoa! Which is a lot of views for that channel that usually gets 1 or 0 or 2. And I'm realizing people are searching and finding that. And I thought I would give a more robust answer now that I am more studied on it. All right, so it took me 1 minute and 8 seconds to get to the point. And I got this in the background for those of you in the know. If you know, you know. Maybe I'll edit this, so I'll put the images up here. So here's the Pan-African flag. If you've never seen that before in your life, it's the red, black, green. Marcus Garvey made it. Do some Googling. I'll put a links below or something. And here's the African Union flag. All right, boom. Now we've seen the two flags in question. I'll start with the Pan-African flag because I feel like that has more traction. So what it basically is the current way new emojis get created is someone, shout out to Bruce Lee, there should be a Bruce Lee emoji. Someone has to create a proposal for the emoji, and they have a guideline for creating this proposal. So you basically create the proposal, you submit the proposal, and then you wait to hear if they accept it or not. I recently ran into, as I'm reading about all this, a couple women made an Afro emoji, for example, which got denied, unfortunately. I used to have an Afro, as you see. Now I have a no-fro, or if I let it grow out, I would have a half-fro. What am I getting at? So you have to submit this proposal, and the proposal has to get approved, and if it gets approved, voila, you'll have an emoji. And something interesting that they have listed on their website is that they don't want you to create a petition, right? They don't want you to do a change.org petition because that could be manipulated, which I think is weird, but whatever. The way they want you to prove that this would be widely used or it's widely known, it's really weak. Google searches. So they want you to present Google search data or Bing or YouTube or Instagram. And that looks like the only real way that they're currently accepting it. And that might be the main reason why, for example, the Afro emoji didn't get accepted. I have no idea why. But that could be a factor. That could be a factor. I didn't look. I just saw the woman on Twitter had a video. She said there was maybe a petition that had like 600,000 or 60,000 signatures. But again, they don't want petitions. They want you to prove it with the Google searches or whatever. So the reason there's no Pan-African flag emoji, this one, I shouldn't do that. I don't want to do too much editing. The reason there's no Pan-African flag emoji is up until last year, a proposal had not been submitted. And now there's a proposal that has been submitted. And I think I'm working with the person who submitted the proposal because they're having a problem proving that it's well known. And I think that problem exists. That's where I started. And I'm like, white supremacy. Because it's one of these weird things where, for example, the Pan-African flag, here, interesting historical note about Marcus Garvey and the Pan-African flag. He created, I always get this wrong, the United Negro, what does the I stand for? Improvement Association, I believe. Anyhow, this dude was a wizard. Okay, this video's all over the place, but I don't care. That's the kind of video, that's what you come to this channel for. Anyway, he at one point in time had millions of members as a part of his association. They were Garveyists, you could say. Malcolm X, one or both of his parents were Garveyists. Kind of like, no Marcus Garvey, no Malcolm X. No Malcolm X, no Muhammad Ali, maybe? I don't know. A lot of people are connected to Malcolm X. Point being is that he had there were millions of people who were part of this association. He had a newspaper that was I think it went internationally even. It was in several languages, maybe English, French, Spanish, maybe something else. He was huge. But it's I'm bringing this up about supremacy and Google search things because that story, it would have been something that was suppressed by the U.S. media and government. Not only was it suppressed, they drummed up some whack charges on him and ran him out of the U.S., right? Someone black wants to do something dope, U.S. government will come in and be like, nah, you can't do that. I mean, that's true. That's true today. So it's definitely true back then. So what I'm getting at is, Juneteenth, for example. White people didn't know Juneteenth existed until this year or last year. I have been celebrating Juneteenth my whole life. And I just see Pan-African flag, Pan-African flag, Pan-African flag. But the Juneteenth wasn't, there were no news reports about Juneteenth. They're scattered here and there. But these activities have been happening a long time in African American communities across the U.S. And so, trying to prove something with Google searches when the media doesn't give it any play or anything is a weird constraint. So that's where I'll end the. I thought I was gonna come out. I'm gonna do a real quick video. Explain this. I don't make quick videos. I apologize. So that's the Pan-African flag. I'll just end there. So there's a proposal that was submitted. I'm working with someone who is currently working on that proposal, and I'm trying to come up with a way to prove that the Pan-African flag is well known and would be widely used outside of using Google searches, although I might spin that into it as well. And I'm not sure if I'm going to end up making a totally new proposal to submit or if what I'm working on will help them upgrade the proposal. Not sure. I'm trying to make this video informative and just capture the moment. What's funny is my other video, I'm all clean shaven and I'm like, I just cleaned up my room and everything. Oh, the reason things look so disastrously and there's no books behind me is we're moving, and I've set up my room as the room to go through things we want to get rid of. So everything you've seen there is stuff that is going to be given away. That's the content you came here for when I'm trying to explain to you about these emojis. So that's the Pan-African flag. A proposal was submitted, and we're figuring it out. There'll be another update at some point. And this one's interesting. The African Union, which is a thing that exists, just like the European Union is a thing that exists. What's interesting about the African Union flag emoji is that the European Union has an emoji, right? And then you might be asking yourself, why does the European Union have an emoji and the African Union does not have an emoji? And again, I started with white supremacy or colonialism, but the reason is ISO, the International Standards Organization. I should look this stuff up. You can look it up. But they're the organization that standardizes a lot of different things. And one of the things they standardize is the country codes for all the countries in the world. And they've given a unique code. I think it's this ISO 3661-1 or something. I'll link below. They've issued a code to the European Union. And then, so ISO is not in charge of emojis. the Unicode is in charge of emojis, right? So ISO is giving out the country codes, but then Unicode is the ones who, make the emoji standards. So because the European Union has this 2-character code, the Unicode were like, yo, we'll put a flag on there for you. The African Union does not have one of these codes from ISO. So the African Union they're not automatically eligible for this automatic emoji thing. I'm hoping I'm getting all these factual for anybody who's watching this. I will try to link it below. I'll eventually do a blog post that's presented much better than this, but this is what you're getting in the meantime, because I'm in the middle of moving. I was thinking of doing a podcast on it. This is what happened. So the reason, it's so weird, I was just surfing around Twitter. I'll put all the links to all this. I was surfing around Twitter and Googling, and someone brought up in a tweet, why is there no Pan-African flag? Why is there no African Union flag? And he tagged a few people. And what was really cool, shout out to ISO, whoever's running that account, they actually responded. And what they responded with is, to their knowledge, the African Union hadn't requested a code. Oh, so okay. But then I ran into a blog post, I think, a news article that then allowed me to find the tweet last year. I think, I don't have all this written down, but it'll all be fact checked below. Last year, the African Union, in partnership with Twitter, made it so if you made a hashtag for Africa Day, which I'm not sure which day Africa Day is, I think it was in May. Anyway, if you did hashtag Africa Day, the European Union flag would pop up behind it. So they had an emoji for a day or a month or something. Doesn't work now. Point being is that clearly the African Union would like to have an emoji flag, clearly. And a quick way for the African Union to get an emoji flag from Unicode would be if ISO from the 366-1, I don't know, 1-1, I don't know, bunch of numbers. If ISO gave them a unique country code, even though the African Union isn't a country, the European Union isn't a country as well, they can do it for economic regions or something. If they gave them a code, then they should just kind of automatically get a emoji flag from Unicode. Boom. Or the other thing is submitting a proposal to Unicode for that flag, which I'm thinking I might do because I think it would be funny. Not that I think it would be funny, but I don't know, why not? Why not? I'm doing the Pan-African flag. Might as well do the African Union flag. So there. Hopefully that answered your questions about the Pan-African Flag Emoji and the African Union emoji. If you happen to Google and there was not, this is what came up. I apologize. That this was the best source of information. I'm sorry that wasn't my blog post or news from somewhere else. I'm sorry it had to come from me, this random guy in Taiwan. And I could end the video here, but here, bonus content. So, and I think I covered all this information by talking about the two different flags, but I'll throw on for people here at the end, if you have an idea for an emoji, there is an organization that has come together that, because they want to make it, they want to make emojis more inclusive. That's their goal. And they've gotten some inclusive emojis created. And this organization will walk you through on their website. I'll provide a few links below, way at the bottom. There was an article I ran into that explained it. And then I ran into this, the website is Emoji Nation. And they actually have a template that you can use for a proposal. But yeah, I guess I gave all the information. I just wanted to mention Emoji Nation here at the end instead of near the beginning. But the point being is, if you have an idea for an emoji that you think is amazing, you think it's perfect, you think it needs to exist, you can go to Emoji Nation and figure it out that way. And hopefully hopefully in the future, there will be a better video or resource answering this question about why. And no, hopefully there'll be a video saying, yo, the Pan-African flag exists now. I'll link to there's a change.org petition you can sign for the Pan-African flag, but it's funny because it does nothing. Like it does, not only does it do nothing, it seems like a petition offends Unicode somehow. So we'll end it there. All right, friends, fam, peeps. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're well. Love you all. I hope you have an emoji that represents your unique personality. Last thing I'll do, because I think it's a good example. I'm not mad. Like when I say I'm mad, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the transgender flag. I was gonna say you can check out the proposal for the transgender flag, which is cool because it's recent and it's been approved, and you can kind of like see what all they presented for it to be approved. What I'm mad about, not the transgender flag or transgender people. I love you. If you're transgender, I love you with all of my heart and all of my being. But what feels offensive to me, what feels offensive to me, that it's like offensive to me that the transgender flag exists, and they were able to prove the numbers well and everything, and that's all fine. But then somehow it's hard to prove the numbers for the Pan-African flag, because I feel like the numbers would be greater. That is all. But check out their. I'll link to all kinds of stuff below. Check that all out. Again, love you. Peace. Now you know if you didn't know.